What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. We back. We got some news, some updates. If you're watching the thumbnail, Ben Askren, Amit Alor. You know how it is, man. We're gonna cover some stories. Um, I'm kind of finding it better that if we don't do as many videos, unless there's some good matches to watch. Otherwise we just cover the news, man. That kind of seems to work for me. I'm a little tired today, so we ain't gonna stay on too long. But yeah, man, we keep going. So you guys wanted some updates on Ben Askren. This is from yesterday, June 10th, 2025. Ben Askren's wife gives health update on ex-UFC star after scary hospitalization. We'll see if they got anything on Reddit for this. Let me change the article reading. There we go. Former MMA star and Olympic wrestler Ben Askren might not be in the clear yet after being hospitalized with severe pneumonia. Askren's wife, Amy, shared the most recent update on her husband Monday night and continued to ask for prayers and support. So, if you guys are a fan of Ben Askren, please send your prayers. Feeling so incredibly thankful for our friends and community, Amy wrote in a Facebook post, which she also shared to her Instagram story. It's times like this that remind you how truly blessed you are. And that's a picture of Ben with his family right there. You know, I feel God moving through the love and support we have received. I'm sorry if I haven't had the chance to respond to you, but no, I've seen your messages and each one has meant so much to me. Rumors swirled within the MMA community over the weekend about Askren's condition, which prompted Amy to address it all. You may have heard that my husband Ben is going through something, she wrote in a Facebook post. He developed severe pneumonia, which came on very suddenly. He's currently in the hospital and unable to respond to anything at this time. We welcome all prayers for healing and peace. It was later reported that the pneumonia developed after Askren was originally diagnosed with a staph infection. So, guys, make sure you're cleaning up yourselves, cleaning up your gyms. If your friends got some stuff, tell them, hey, get it checked out. It was later, yeah. The couple have been married since 2010 and shared 3 children together. That's Askren over there fighting one of the Jake Paul over there. Askren held a 19-2 MMA record across his career, including Bellator and one titles. He went 1-2 in his brief UFC career before retiring from the promotion in 2019. He was a U.S. Olympian in 2008 on the freestyle wrestling team. Um, yeah, it's pretty bad news, man. I didn't see anything else regarding this. Bloody elbow. Basically, everybody's reporting the same stuff. Yeah, I didn't see anything new or any updates or anything, guys. So we'll keep you guys posted. Got a Reddit post over here. That's from 4 days ago. Um, what's the new stuff? We're on Reddit. It says let's um yeah, nothing really to update you guys. Here's a little post like seems interesting. I had pneumonia a couple years ago out of the blue. I always thought it was something that mostly impacted old people, so it was really not something that was on my radar. One day I was fine. A few days later, I thought I was coming down with flu, but it just kept getting worse and worse. I ended up in the hospital for a few nights. I was quite unwell with it, but thankfully quickly became better as soon as it was identified and I received treatment. It is scary to go from being otherwise fit and healthy to so unwell in such a short space of time. from speaking with the doctor about it, he said you can catch it just like you catch other viruses. Most people who catch it feel unwell, but it will be fine and likely not require hospital treatment. But a small percentage of people will become really ill with it. He seemed to think that in many cases it's down to pure bad luck if you are otherwise healthy, but get hit very hard by it. And if you're overtraining, a lot of MMA guys, wrestlers overtrain. Immune system's already down. That MRSA, that staph, ready to take you down. So you guys gotta take care of your health, man. I didn't see any other stuff. Let's go to our MMA real fast. Yeah, I don't really think there's much on that. Yeah, I didn't see anything else, guys. I'm looking. So yeah, I'll try to keep you guys updated on that. Keep myself updated too. But yeah, nothing new. As far as the news, so not much we can say, man. Yeah, nothing we can say. Flow Wrestling put something out too.
Ben Askren, his wife Amy, on Saturday released some really tough news about what Ben is going through health-wise. Obviously, a really, really scary situation. Ben is my friend, a friend to all of us here, a friend to wrestling, a longtime friend to Flow Wrestling. I look forward to, the day where Ben is back fully operational on this show, making fun of probably me, but hopefully JD. Amy mentioned that, prayers are appreciated, and certainly we've been in the Piles house. We get a lot of prayers up for Ben, and, if that's something that you would want to do, I know they'd be appreciated by Amy and the family, and yeah, maybe one day Ben. So want to send our best to Ben. Love the guy, and wish we're thinking about him a lot. So
prayers for Amy and Ben Askren, the entire Askren family, all of AWA out in Wisconsin. I know he's impacted so many people, man. Thankful for his leadership, what he does for the country and also for the sport of wrestling. There's no one quite like him. Prayerful that he comes out of this and he can be back to his normal self. So just thinking about those guys.
My wrestlers are some of the most religious people. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. In fact, especially during times like this, is you kind of want those people praying for you. Pray for me too, guys. Pray for me too. Yeah. So nothing else to really update you guys on that. Maybe in the coming days. We had some news from yesterday. I missed it. Sometimes I miss some news, guys. I got my own stuff too, man. I'll move it over a little bit. PGF. Breaking the Professional Grappling Federation, PGF, breaks new ground. The first ever professional jiu-jitsu league to sell a franchise team. So, I don't know. We're going to try to figure out what they're talking about. The PGF has finalized a 7-figure sale of its first franchise team, the New Hope Kings, acquired by New Hope Regeneration. So they're selling the teams? How does that work? They got to sell the athletes off? I don't think I want to be a part of being sold, guys. I ain't got the best history with that. I don't want to be on no team that's being sold. 7 figures, blah, blah, blah. This landmark transaction marks the PGF's formal entry into the pro sport franchise model, mirroring league systems like the NFL, NBA, and Formula One. I mean, those are circuses too. We are beyond excited, and it is a dream come true to participate in professional sports history by partnering with PGF and purchasing the world's first professional jiu-jitsu franchise team. What's going on? So they buy in, they find sponsors to buy the team, and then they take the athletes. What's in it for them? Marketing or something? What's going on? The league has all the right structural pillars of a major sport. Elite athletes, team rivalries, a full season format, For future team owners, this isn't just a lucrative investment in the fastest growing combat sport, but a chance to be part of building the next great league from the ground up, said Zoltan Bathory, PGF co-owner and Five Finger Death Punch founder. They always put his name in there. We're building a league, a structure that gives athletes real careers and fans a true sport to follow. I'm proud to carry my family's legacy forward by helping bring jiu-jitsu to its next level, the professional era, said Heather Gracie, PGF co-owner. Why is her... Yo, what's up? What's up, Joe? Why is her middle name Grace? Season 8 debuts June 25th with the PGF. Isn't that the same time as... No, the UFC one starts this week, 16th, I think, guys. Doesn't really help. I cover news, so that's like, for me, that's too much stuff going on. But you guys love it, so I'll try to cover some of this stuff. Man, remember when I used to do jiu-jitsu, guys, instead of talking about news and stuff, crap like this? I'm trying to get back, man. I'm trying to get back. Debuts the 25th of June with their draft, and weekly matches begin July 23rd. This is more than a milestone. It's proof of concept. The sales signals that the PGF model is not only working, it's investable, it's scalable, and it's got the potential to change how the world views jiu-jitsu. So we'll keep you guys updated. There's so much going on. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. PGF, UFC, ADCC, CJI, Polaris, who's number one, BJJ Stars, Zapatero. There's some others. That's a ton. Was that about 8 teams or something? 8 events? IBJJF, Jiu-Jitsu World League, World Pro, USA Grappling. God, dog, what? How many goddamn things are there? How many goddamn... Bro, listen, how much... that's why I like wrestling. You wrestled... How many rule sets are there internationally? Or the major ones? You got freestyle, folk style in America. Well, okay. Well, internationally, you got freestyle and Greco. That's it. You got 2 options, bro. What you want to watch? You want to watch some throws? Greco. You want to watch some scrambles? Freestyle. Top? No. What's up? Man, yeah, it's just too much. It's too much, man. Everybody's doing their own thing, and they got their own rules. They got their contracts. Can't keep up with the athletes. Athletes are sequestered off. Can't compete with nobody no more. No more good matchups. This dude, he's on this card. He can't fight the other dude that we want to see him fight on the other card. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not sure about you guys, but I'm overwhelmed already. They haven't started nothing, and I'm overwhelmed. When is judo going to start doing some stuff, Jimmy Pedro? I see him in the comments right here. Said, best of luck, and let me know when you need new Fuji mats for the athletes. My man's, he be slinging the mats. What is judo doing? I'm not hating on PGF too much. I'm just saying I'm overwhelmed. There's too much going on. Everybody's got their rule set. Athletes don't know what rule set they're getting ready for. And then you prepare for one rule set. Well, that event went out of business. Basically the same thing, guys. Same thing. I really don't understand what they're doing. They're trying to make it professional. I don't know. Let's watch some jiu-jitsu. We got Espen. He's going to show us some techniques for us.
Mistake I see people do whenever they go for the matrix is to go too deep with the underhook. If I'm going too deep and get my shoulder on his shin, what's going to happen is that it's very hard to get the proper angle. I'm kind of blocking myself with being too tight. So what I want to do instead is to be quite shallow and grab like this. This allows me to pull myself towards him, but also get behind. So now it's a lot easier to get the angle where I can then start to go for the back. A common mistake I see people do
Nice
whenever
detail
they
by
go for the
Espen.
matrix is to go too deep.
Nice detail by Espen. You know, Espen's still out there fighting. He did Worlds. I think he beat Jensen Gomez's brother. Jonatas Gomez? What is his brother's name? Yeah, hit him with the sweep. Dun, dun, dun. A nice little sweep here. What he's got to say?
I like to have my foot shallow because it allows me to be in control of distance. Makes it very hard for him to pass. And then from here, I took my foot into a lasso position and I flared both my knees at the same time. That allowed me to off balance, get them down, and from there, go on top and get the sweep. In both my matches, I was able to get the sweep directly. However, sometimes when you go for the sweep, they might stop and they want to transfer the weight back because they don't want to give the sweep. And I can actually take advantage of that. So if they ever stop the sweep and come back, I'm just going to kick in their armpit. And now I can spin through and go for the back take.
So Shane Jamil Hill used to sweep everybody with, deep lasso and reverse De La Hiva. We got some more news. We got kind of a bummer. It says right there, Meet Allure is out of Final X. So again, people ask me why I cover wrestling, but listen, there's a lot of crossover. Amit is dating Mika Galvao, one of your guys' favorite jiu-jitsu athletes. So that's why we got to cover wrestling, man. Unfortunately, she is out. Says Olympic champ Amit Allure, who just returned to the mat after a long layoff, is out for Final X due to some health issues. Pikachu is hiding. Yeah, he's here. Hey, Carol. I might pull him out for you. You guys, you can see his ears behind me. I might pull him out just for Carol. Yeah, she's sick. I don't know what she has. I think she said she has, what's that called? I can't remember. Maybe they'll post it here. Or we'll go to her post, actually. Let's go to her post. So I guess she will not be doing the World's team this year. She has a lot of injuries. I don't know what happened. She was hanging out with her boyfriend in Brazil. What happened in Brazil? Maybe they can get a replacement. She was supposed to fight on Final X. Yeah, Final X. So we'll see. I want to see her fight the other girl, Alex. I've been following her a little bit. She got a boyfriend or husband, so I'm not being creepy, guys. Just following her. Yeah, anemic. I think she's anemic or something. So actually, let's look that up real fast. Mr. Meet Allure. No, wrong person. Here's her. So we'll read her post. Mr. Jason Whitfield. Yeah. She says, "Hi everyone. I'm sad to share that I will not be able to compete in Final X due to health reasons. I recently found out that I was anemic during the World Team Trials, which added up to be too much with my current injuries. In the meantime, I'm committed to safely working on strengthening my wrestling. I'm also very excited to contribute to the wrestling community by being more available for camps and clinics. Wishing the very best to all the wrestlers competing this weekend, no matter what. I'm sure we're going to have an incredible team representing us at the world stage. To my Final X competitor, Alex, you got this, and I'll be cheering for you at Worlds." So I was really looking forward to this match. Would have been really great. Alex says, "I'm sorry you're dealing with this, Amit. As much as I was looking forward to great matches with you, I know health comes first. I am wishing you well and praying that you are back to health soon." Jason off in there. Mika says, "You're already a legend, babe. Would just be adding more to the collection, but your health is the most important thing. Let's recovery and get back even stronger." So, they got that long distance going on. Good luck to those guys. Got that long distance. Let them learn, man. Let them learn. UFC news coming to Atlanta. Carol, are you guys going to the UFC? I think Jared works on Saturdays. He can get off by 10 p.m., 7 p.m. You got Usman versus what's that kid's name? I can't remember his name. Let me click on it real fast. Oh, Buckley. Yeah, Buckley. Usman versus Buckley. Usman not retired yet? Well, JB said he not retired, so I guess Usman said he not retired either. So, Buckley, young and hungry, and Usman old and beaten up. So he sounds like me. Jason says Final X is really having some struggles this year. Bad publicity, athletes not competing. I've lost a lot of interest. I'm still trying to go, although the ticket's like $60. Some of my friends were like, "Man, you still want to go?" I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I got to check on that. Anyway, this UFC might be okay. It's going to be at the State Farm Arena, so you know that traffic going to be bad, Carol. Good luck, Carol, getting out there. And tickets, easy $300. Oh no, Carol, don't send any money for me, Carol. I'm gonna go get some high chews. I'm gonna get some high chews, Carol. Thank you. Oh, Carol always taking care of us. Give Jer Bear and Dustin a hug for me. Jer. Yeah, I miss you guys. I'll be back eventually. Jersey got me. They got me in Jersey, guys. Dirty Jersey got me, guys. Yeah, hopefully Dustin takes his dad out there. Same with so many flavors. Whew. I gotta make weight, guys, so I'm being good. Carol, fight me. I'll be trying to diet. Carol's like, you want to come over and eat some really good food? I'm like, no. Carol be like, you want to go to the buffet, Alec? I'm like, no, I can't go, Carol. I can't go. Oh, it's your birthday? Oh man, Carol, you be singing. Carol be singing in class. Carol, we be warming up. Carol singing. Carol, you kill it though, Carol. I can't lie, you kill it though. You kill it. Jeff said he gonna sing too. All right, Jeff said he gonna sing. I don't know about Hajin. I haven't heard Hajin sing. You might have to pull the mic out from her. Carol. Yeah, my Filipinos don't play with that karaoke. You might have to take the microphone from her. Anime singing. All right, let me know, Carol. Let me know how it goes. You might have to take the microphone from Jeff too, though. You might have to get that microphone from Jeff. I can't sing either. I can't sing either. Oh man, sorry guys, I was going off on it. Tiana, Tony, the gang. Hey, everybody going. Is Dustin going? I don't think Dustin can sing though. What Dustin gonna sing? Yeah, so we got this fight coming up. We got another fight too. I'll be back soon, eventually, at some point. We got Canelo versus Crawford. Should be good too. When is this one going? September 13th. I'll be back before September 13th. Carol say she's shy, man, but then she go trying to tear my head off. We got Jao Miao. So if you guys don't know Jao Miao, he's pretty funny too. He likes to do these skits. I think Jao's more outgoing online. I saw him. I went to his school the other day, last week. So he does these little posts like this. I'll be back, Carol. I'll be back. So he does these little posts like this where, I don't know, usually it's like some girls with their boyfriend and, Jao, I guess Jao don't got a girlfriend or anything, but he's going to train. He's going to train. That's Carol and Dare on date night. So shout out to Jao Miao. He's the funniest guy in jiu-jitsu, I think. I think his social media might be better than Craig Jones's. What do you guys think? It's more wholesome, kinda, sometimes. Even Mackenzie Dern's over there laughing. Yo, my man, who would have guessed Jao Miao would become the biggest comedian in jiu-jitsu? Kayla Harrison. We talked about Kayla Harrison. There's a big debate over what's harder, judo, Olympic gold in judo, or winning a UFC title. So all my judoka, of course, they're saying judo, and then all the MMA all the MMA fighters are saying wrestling MMA. Kayla, she didn't say either one. She said both were tough. So let me move it over a little bit. And it says, for 15 weeks, I'm on a diet. Every day I walk 6 miles. All right, Carol, I'll see you. Oh, you're on TV. You'll see me in real life. I'll see you later, Carol. Take care of yourself. For 15 weeks, I'm on a diet. Every day I walk 6 miles, bike 2 hours, or I swim for an hour and a half. Sundays, I walk for 8 miles. So, man, that's a lot of cardio, guys. That's on top of 2 other training sessions I do each day. It's really hard. I just have to keep telling myself that it's chosen it's chosen suffering and that it'll be worth it. Kayla Harrison. I actually got her book. I was doing these kind of like documentaries for a little bit, and I was gonna do one on Kayla, but just never came out. So maybe I'll get back to it. Kind of similar to what I did with Fionn, the video that I did on her, and like Anthony Bourdain on my main channel. So if you guys want to see something like that, let me know. Would you guys be interested in a Kayla Harrison kind of YouTube documentary? That's a ton of work though. that's a lot of work and reading. I think for the Anthony Bourdain video, I bought like 3 books for the research, on top of listening to like almost every podcast or like interview. So I would like to bring that back. Unfortunately, it's not the most popular format, at least for me. But I love doing those. There's so many great stories that you guys never hear about. Shout out to Carol. Carol also did judo. She hard to throw, man. It says Kayla Harrison breaks down her brutal weight cut in order to make championship weight at 135. So I believe she's like 30 pounds heavier normally. So she had 15 weeks, guys. So about 4 months, a little bit over 4 months to lose 30 pounds. So pretty insane. I wish I could lose 30 pounds, man. I'd be set. I could do featherweight. Why not shed some muscle so it's not so brutal at the end? Well, you don't want to lose your muscle. Who tells an athlete to lose muscle? That's one of her biggest advantages, being able to overpower all of her opponents. And losing muscle isn't so simple. It has many side effects. Someone says, why is 135 the heaviest weight class for women? Well, the UFC doesn't care about ladies that much. If they did, they would add more weight classes. A biggest heart and strongest mind, champ. Great work, champ. Like, I feel like there is a way to simply lose muscle and walk around to 135. No. Muscle is the last thing you want to lose unless you go on a starvation diet. I think muscle will go away then. Otherwise, athletes need their muscle. Let's see. How much weight did she cut altogether? Quote from Roger Federer, there's no way around hard work. Embrace it. You rule. The only 6 stand in UFC. So shout out to her, man. She's doing it. She's the double champ now. She's the new double champ. Olympic and also UFC champ. So I think Henry Cejudo is the only person I can think of that's in recent memory. There might have been some other fighters in the past that were similar, high level, And actually, that the Japanese guy that was training with New Wave, what's that guy's name? Can anybody remember? Jason Whitfield, you remember the Japanese guy, Ishin or something? He won Olympics in judo too. I don't think he won a title. He definitely didn't win a UFC title. More news of Final X. We got Burroughs and Victoria. And Victoria. I don't know where Valerie came from. Burroughs and Victoria. They're both commentating at Final X, so that's big enough reason for me to go. They say not to meet your heroes, but I want to see JB. I want to see JB. So hopefully we can go to Final X. If you guys are around, I might be there. I want to go and heckle Kyle Snyder. I told my friends I'm gonna walk around with my pants down. I'm gonna walk around Final X with my pants down. Shout out to Xavier and Victor. They're gonna escort me out of there, man. So if you don't remember, Kyle Snyder, he got caught with his pants down at wrestling in the hotel room. Not the best look for wrestling. So not only is Allure out, Kyle Snyder was allowed to wrestle. Is anybody else out? There's no Vito. I don't think Vito's wrestling, so we're missing some good matchups, man. We're losing all our good matchups. Victoria says, so excited this weekend. Thank you, Flow Wrestling, for the opportunity to join the Final X broadcast team. Best wrestling in the nation. This is going to be a blast. Jordan Burroughs and Victoria Anthony are set to join the Final X broadcast as commentators this Saturday, June 14th. Don't miss all the action live on Flow Wrestling. Satoshi Ishii trained Danaher. Yep. Well, they basically stole his game. All they do is collar tie, and arm drag to the back. They completely stole his game, which I guess is working. So shout out to Flow Wrestling. They're getting some really high level athletes out there commentating. Flow Grappling. They have what's homegirl, Kendall, and a few people. I wish they would bring some new blood. Like bring I don't know. Who would you guys like to see commentating? They shouldn't have me out there. I'll be saying some crazy stuff. I'd be like, why did he do this? Why would he do this dumb stuff? Maybe someone like John Thomas, very analytical. Jason Rao. I want them to bring the really analytical people, Frank Rosenthal and some of those guys, guys like that. Ryan Hall. I think Flow Grappling, they got to pay for these people, but I think they could bring some more talent. And if you were watching Worlds, they only had the same commentators for like 200 matches, so they were tired. The commentators, you could hear them slurring and just tired. So they need to bring some new fresh talent to relieve some of those other people when they get tired. Dan Lucart used to be on there too. JB says, let's go, champ. JB, keep your hands to yourself, JB. I'm joking. Kendall Blades, yay. Everybody's looking forward to this. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Satoshi Ishii. Let's see if we can find him. Shoot. I just had it. He's really good. Was that him? Yeah, that's him. That's him over there in judo throwing people. Man, he's actually good. Obviously judo Olympian. Judo Olympian doing good. God, dog. I love seeing some good judo in MMA. He got that nice, I don't know what that throw is called, but he's doing it pretty nicely there. It's crazy he never won a UFC title. I don't think he made it to the UFC. He was fighting like Eastern Europe. Nice. I believe he wanted to fight MMA in Japan, but the judo people wouldn't let him, so he moved to Croatia or something like that. Was it Croatia or one of those countries? Serbia, something like that. That's crazy. Judo constantly shoots itself in the foot. Judo constantly just, same thing with Travis Stevens. He was competing in jiu-jitsu and a lot of good crossover. Judo, was IJF or USA Judo said no. Kind of killed a lot of momentum. Could have had a lot of jiu-jitsu people doing judo. Here's Satoshi. He's showing some moves at BJJ Fanatics. So he basically just grabbed like his gi. He grabbed that wrist. And man, this is a move you gotta cultivate your whole life to get good at. The actual timing and stuff.
さあ内股一本石井聡鮮やか内股一本決勝戦も一本5試合連続オール一本勝ちで世界ジュニアを制しました。
立ち技と寝技のコンビネーションで相手のスタミナを奪っておいての、この立ち技一本勝ち。
いやー、寝てよし立ってよし、石井聡まだ17歳、国士舘高校の3年生が世界ジュニアを制しました。
今研究中の技、内股ですね。これで一本取れたっていうことはかなり自信になるんじゃないですかね。
これはタイミングよく入りましたね。
しっかり相手を崩してますんで、もうかける前に相手の体が死んで、狙っていけるように。
I'm not sure what are the I'm just wondering what were the let's see, watch a couple more.
ていた両腕の力強さですね。さあその体落としのところ
ですね。今まででしたら腹ばいですね。
なるほど、そこから引きつけてですね、相手をこう裏返す。
そうですね。この畳スレスレのところをご覧いただきたいと思うんですけども、
ここですね。
落ちるのかですね。
返してるわけですね。しっかりと引きつけてですね。
あの引きがやっぱ強かったですね。
120キロの石ていた両腕の力強さです。
Sorry guys, I'm gonna judo. One more judo video and we'll look at the picture.
試練の一戦。白い柔道着日本の石井です。
楽しみですね。
井上康生を破った相手とこのフランス国際相対します。
いい組み手ですよ。
しっかりと組んだ。そして内股決まった。
見事ですね。
電光石火の内股一本勝ち日本の石井です。
思い切ってかけました。
いや、それにしてもあっという間に勝負を決めてみせました。何やらこう井上康生を思わせるようなそんな
そうですね。
内股
自分からこう飛び込んでいって入るような内股だったんですね。
Cool. Judo is cool, man. That's Ishin at 2008 Beijing, so pretty amazing, man. I do like some judo. I would like to do more. Up here in Jersey, they got a lot of really good judo. And they kind of do it like Travis Stevens, where they have like a jiu-jitsu program and then the judo program right there, so you can just go right into both. When I go to, I feel like in Atlanta, it's not the same. It's kind of more. I trained with Colton Brown a little bit, so it was a little bit easier to. He's done a little bit of both, so it's easier for me to jump in there versus I think in Atlanta, like, I don't know, I just feel like the judo community doesn't like the jiu-jitsu people, and the jiu-jitsu people don't really care. Jiu-jitsu people, we too focused on what Craig Jones doing, what Mikey saying, what Fionn doing, what Gordon Ryan doing, what Danaher said. We ain't thinking about no judo people. But the judo people, they always thinking about us for some reason. I don't know why, man. I didn't do nothing to them. Yo, again, shout out to Carol, man. She sent some money, guys. Carol outdoing you guys, bro. Carol. Carol outdoing you guys. Moving on, we got Mikey. He reveals the UFC BJJ will begin testing for PEDs in 2026. Mikey, we gotta test you too, Mikey. We gotta test you too, Mikey. What kind of pizza diet makes you ripped? Who else is getting ripped on pizza? I ain't. I'm not getting ripped on pizza. I'd be bloated. So yeah, shout out to Mikey. Mikey, we're gonna need to test you too. It says Mikey Musumeci has revealed the UFC BJJ plans to begin testing athletes for PEDs, a significant move that could reshape the grappling landscape. I mean, all these dudes know how to get around these tests, bro. These tests don't do nothing, bro. Just look at Worlds. They get around the tests easily. The announcement slipped under the radar during a Q&A session on Mikey's Instagram, but its implications are substantial. Currently, only a handful of major grappling organizations, most notably the IBJJF and UAEJJF, United Arab Emirates Jiu-Jitsu Federation, conduct any testing at all, and even then, it's typically reserved for champions or medalists. As a result, many of the sport's top athletes have never undergone any testing, and several openly admit to PED use. This has posed a long-standing issue for jiu-jitsu's legitimacy as it tries to gain broader appeal with mainstream audiences. So, are they going to be testing at PGF? I don't know. While UFC's recent entry into professional jiu-jitsu via UFC BJJ has sparked mixed reactions, Musumeci sees the decision to implement testing as a much-needed positive step. Mikey says grappling to be professional, finally with stability, drug testing, and to reach a much larger segment of people than we have ever been able to. That's what he's expecting from UFC BJJ. The announcement comes just ahead of the debut season of UFC BJJ, which features Musumeci and Rierson Gabriel. A lot of you people are asking, who is Rierson? Well, no one knows who Rierson is. He came out of nowhere. The season will crown 3 champions across the lightweight, welterweight, and bantamweight divisions, with Musumeci and Gabriel Rierson facing off for the bantamweight title in the final. So we'll keep you guys updated. I mean, UFC does test, or did test. So we'll see what they're gonna test for. I will say these tests are really expensive. Let's see. We got the AI going. Let's go to our MMA. They're gonna give us the answers. The cost of USADA tests. Says, I keep seeing posts saying that USADA test cost $40K for each test. That ain't true. And some fighters actually, you gotta think you need the testing officials, the kits. Yeah, it might in travel. Yeah, it actually might cost that much, man. I don't know. It says $40K for each test, and some fighters get tested 5 or more times before a fight. Every fighter gets tested at least once before the fight. How does this make sense when some UFC fighters only make $12 to $20K per fight? According to this article, the deal is for 2,750 tests a year and costs multiple millions at 40. Actually, I don't know what that's true. Okay, there's another article. It says between $200 and $400 per test. Is it? Let me check this article. Hopefully it's a real article. Can't see it. We're trying to see how much it costs to test. Jason says, people think that testing for PEDs is a good thing that will encourage a lot of athletes to not join the UFC Jiu-Jitsu. I don't think they will get the top athletes because PEDs are a part of the culture. There are natural people. You know, I keep telling you guys I'm natural. There are some natural people out there. Don't want to do nothing. So, yeah, maybe it'll help us. Now, your favorite grapplers out there, your favorite grapplers that win everything, I don't know if they can make it, man. I don't know if some of your favorite grapplers can be over there. Some of your favorite grapplers, they not gonna pass no tests. They pissing acid. It's green. Yeah, a lot of your favorite athletes probably not gonna make it. I just want to see the cost. USADA, put your costs out there. So I think it's around $200 to $400, but we got to take in, account that you need the testers out there. You got to fly the testers out there, or pay them whatever rate to go out there and test you. It's different if they're testing you at the venue, which is what IBJJF does. They test you right after you win or place. But I think with like UFC, they actually got to pay for the. Actually, they did catch Cyborg and some of those other people. Let's see. They went to their gym and can we see when Cyborg failed? So my dream is that I compete and then maybe I lose to one of these guys and then I get a gold medal or something. They're like, Alec, actually you got bronze, Alec. Oh shoot, I did. I'm hoping USADA's my friend. I need USADA like this. When I go compete, I'm like, USADA, where you at, bro? When I'm getting my butt kicked by a jiu-jitsu athlete, I'm like, USADA, come save me, USADA. I want USADA to jump over the barrier and stop the match and save me. They've yet to do that. So let's read this. This happened 2022. Didn't get reported till 2023. That's how USADA worked. It says USADA announced today that 5 athletes have accepted 3-year sanctions for their respective anti-doping rules violations, all of which occurred as a result of testing and intelligence from the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation World Nogi Championships event in December 2022. So they didn't think that they were going to test at the World Nogi Worlds. All athletes deserve a level playing field so that hard work and talent alone determine the outcome of a competition. I'm with them. I'm with you, USADA CEO Travis Taggart. I'm cooked, guys. I'm cooked. Jason says the money's going to testing. I think they lied about that money, Jason. I think they lied about that money. I don't trust nothing out of Dana White's mouth or Claudia's mouth. Yo, my homegirl. Why is the girl with OnlyFans in charge of the jiu-jitsu guys? They couldn't pick nobody better. UFC didn't have nobody better. You telling me UFC, multi-billion-dollar organization, didn't have nobody better? They gave us the girl with OnlyFans. All that to say, I don't think that money coming to jiu-jitsu. They probably paying Mikey peanuts. Mikey said he ain't got no say in nothing. So I know he ain't getting paid that much. I think it's a clown show, bro. I think these guys, you think you're in the UFC, got to make some money, but we did the whole story on Sean Strickland. He won a lot of matches. He been fighting in the UFC for 10 years, 11 years. He ain't got nothing good to say. I remember what's the guy that fought? He used to train with Eddie Bravo, 10th Planet. What's that guy's name? Old guy. Was a little crazy. Not Eddie, the other guy, the MMA fighter. Anyway, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of fighters that have been unhappy with the UFC pay. So yeah, you saw the CEO. He said that hard work. He said all athletes deserve a level playing field, so that hard work and talent alone determine the outcome of competition. I support that. Sean just did a video with Pearl Davis. Who's that? Oh, Strickland? Who's Pearl Davis? Who's that? I don't know who that is, man. Let me know in the comments. I don't know everybody. Testing programs help ensure that those who choose to use powerful performance-enhancing substances or otherwise cheat to gain an advantage are held accountable. My worst nightmare is that all these guys end up like Wagner Hosha. They're in their 30s. Wagner Hosha, 42 years old, guys. Let's see how old he is. Wagner Hosha, he just turned 43. Now, I'm not saying it's not, maybe there's some, genetic family history, blah, blah, blah. But, man, 43? Man, to have, the beginning stages of heart failure at 43, man, that would be terrible. I'm really worried about these kids. These kids, some of these kids are starting really young. They in these programs, these programs with the biggest schools you guys love, they taking a lot of stuff in their teenage years. And we don't know what the ramifications going to be. Their liver and heart probably twice as big as mine. Lungs probably twice as big too. He was talking about his life. She's a red pill manosphere YouTuber. Oh, okay. I probably won't cover that, but if I could find an article, I'm more about reading articles right now, so I don't get hit with no copyright. But maybe that might be worth listening to. But anyway, yeah, I don't want there to be a lot of Wagner Hoshas in their 30s and 40s. I want people to be healthy when they're doing this sport. This is the opposite of health, guys. This is the opposite of health out here. What these guys are doing. Although the IBJF is not a signatory of the World Anti-Doping Code, USADA, or WADA, USADA was contracted by IBJF to conduct testing and results management program. We've read that before. Okay, so there was a few people that got hit. So they clearly didn't think that they would get tested at Nogi Worlds. You had Igor Nascimento from Florida. Tested positive for testosterone and its metabolites in competition urine sample from December 11th. He had a 3-year ban, so he should be able to compete soon. Oh, never mind. Didn't start to January 2023, so he can't compete till January 2020. Oh no, 6. Janatas Gracie, isn't he fighting who's number 1? Shout out to Janatas. Actually, I do like Janatas. And what's crazy is these guys are 25 years old and they own a lot of stuff. You think these guys are going to be healthy in their 30s and 40s, guys? 25, tested positive for 19 norandrastone and metabolite of nandrolone and other prohibited supplements and exogenous testosterone and its metabolites in competition urine sample. 3-year slap on the wrist. So he should be back in 2026 too. Isn't he fighting Mika Galvao? Didn't Mika Galvao get hit? None of these guys can pass the USADA. Roberto Abreu, Cyborg, 42, tested positive for exogenous testosterone. Oh, I didn't know he did. He did test. Oh, I thought he ran away from the test. Yeah, 3-year suspension. He'll be back 2026. Jose Henrique Cardozo. Who is that guy? I don't know who that guy is. Who is this guy? Tested positive too. Exogenous testosterone and methasterone. Some other stuff. I can't pronounce this stuff. Wagner Hosha, 40. Refused to submit a sample collection after being notified by a USADA doping control officer during an out-of-competition test on December 23rd, 2022. So they went to Florida to go test him. He accepted a 3-year period of ineligibility that began on January 11th, 2023. Guys, these tests getting better. So unless they're using something that gets in and out of their system really quickly, unless they use something that gets out of their system really quickly, they're gonna get caught, Ben. So, my favorite. Hey, man, my water bottle was spiked, man. That's my favorite one. As far as I know, well, yeah, it's just not been good for the sport. And there's been people getting hit every year, every time. Can I search IBJJF? I mean, look, ain't no shortage of people getting caught by USADA. 2017, 2023, 2017. 2020, 2019, 2015, 2016, 2022, 2023. Some of your favorite grapplers over there getting caught. 2024. Sometimes it's like marijuana or something. But Mighty Mouse said the marijuana was a performance enhancing. Did you guys hear that? 2025. Who got hit 2025? Oh yeah, somebody got hit in 2025. JH says, so are these tournaments big money or something? I'm still new to all this and don't compete yet. It's kind of like, UFC might potentially be bigger money. Yeah, right now it's UFC is going to be testing, and then UFC BJJ, and then IBJJF. IBJJF just now started paying athletes. I forget what the biggest prize money is. Maybe like $20K, $40K. No, I don't think it's $40K. Yeah, $40K actually for their Grand Prix. So you can make some money. You just have to be like the best person in the world to make $40,000. But that does kind of suck a little bit. We did talk a little bit about this. Says the truth behind the $52 million lawsuit. We talked a little bit about this. So basically, the guy in the green here, Sinistro. Can you guys see my? Move it over a little bit. He did like a Leo Vieta roll. But the other guy, his neck was on the mat, and he kind of moved last second, and got a spinal injury. In recent weeks, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world has been rocked by headlines about a staggering $52 million lawsuit involving renowned instructor Francisco Sinistro Iturralde. The case, which stems from a tragic injury during a sparring session, has ignited immense debates online, but beyond the clickbait and courtroom sound bites lies a human story, one of heartbreak, misunderstanding, and resiliency. So I read this already. I really don't want to read it again. Is there a video? I want to see the video. Maybe there isn't a video. I really don't want to. Maybe I can find it. Blackout says IBJF tournaments generate a lot of money from all of their registrants. I believe only black belt champions and maybe place winners earn prize money. Yep, you have to place at Worlds. I'm not sure about Nogi Worlds yet. Brasileiros and Worlds, I believe, have a payout to black belts. There's a Grand Prix. There's the Crown. And then otherwise, you can make money by being top ranked, like top three, like the top 3 ranked by points for that competitive year. You can make money. So there is a little bit of money. It's more prestige. So, if you win IBJJF Worlds, you're a world champion. You can use that to promote yourself for seminars and professional fights. In fact, the guy that's fighting Mikey Musumeci, Metzi, however you want to say it, he won Pans this year, 2025 Pans. And that's basically the reason he's able to fight Mikey, because he won that Pans. So, being a world champion gives you some prestige. Your name's in history. You make a little bit of money. I believe like $8,000 to $10,000 possibly. And then I believe all of your tournament entries are, you get those fees waived or you're reimbursed. So if you're a world champion, I'm not sure for the other opens, but I think some tournaments you're reimbursed for. So that's bro, if that's true, I'm not sure if it's true, but if that's true, you're set. If you win Worlds, you can register and get reimbursed for all your tournament fees. That's pretty nice. Let's see if we can find this video. YouTube. Am I in the right YouTube account? Yeah. Craig Jones pops up. I don't know if we can find the move. Let's see. This is news, Fame News, headline news. Let's see. So again, this is biased, guys. This is biased. Jason says, like I said earlier, the UFC is screwing themselves with the testing. This is a lot of athletes who are ineligible to compete. UFC's talent pool has less to choose from, like CJI, ADCC, and PGF. Well, they had a lot of guys. They had Tackett, Josh Cernos, Gianni Grippo. So they actually have some good people, I mean, it's good. I mean, Jason, what are we supposed to do if you're natural, bro? You want us to get jacked up, bro? You got to have some type of got to have something in place for athletes that aren't using steroids and whatever else crap. Of course, CJI they can get the jiu-jitsu guys. ADCC can pull PGF, PGL, PGF, whatever it's called. But if you want these sports to be professional, there's got to be some testing. You can't have these dudes roid raging all over the place. I'm pretty for testing. I don't use anything. I'm natural, so I would like to compete against people that are natural. I mean, I compete against people that aren't natural. And that does kind of suck. That does force you to like really work harder. That is true. As a fan, I know you guys want to see the craziest, most amped up dude that can recover from tearing his knee last week. And it's okay to have different opinions, CGI is still going to be good. ADCC is still going to be good. I think UFC there's talent out there. And they're not even testing those guys till 2026. So there's really no issue about it right now. 2026, a couple months from now, they will start testing, but now they're not testing anybody. So I don't know, man. I prefer having a sport that's cleaner think about wrestling. Wrestling's a little bit cleaner because they have so much testing. I'm not saying there's no ways to get bypass. A lot of these guys can bypass the test and stuff. But again, I don't. You guys love the entertainment, but I'm looking at the back end. Look at people like Wagner Hosha. Look at people like Cyborg. I believe Cyborg had open heart surgery too. Let's look that up. Yeah, I believe he had a heart attack too. So, I mean, I know you guys want entertainment, but do you guys want to see the athletes over there dying in their 40s? You want people like Gordon Ryan just melting away? I mean, I ain't going to live my life like that. I don't care about entertaining you guys that much. I ain't going to put my life on the line to entertain you guys. That ain't sustainable, bro. ADCC don't care what you use. They don't care if you die. Did ADCC do anything with when Homeboy died? I mean, there's some real stuff over here. Cyborg, he had open heart surgery 2020. He was in like 4. How old is Cyborg? Let's see. He 44. He was in his 30s when he had open heart surgery. Now, either it's genetic, or him and Wagner, they both got caught. We just saw that, right? They both got caught on the same day, December 2022. Roberto Abreu, 42. So he was like 40 years old in 2020. He had open heart surgery a couple years ago. Wagner Hosha recently had heart failure. 44 years old, 43 years old, 42 years old. I don't know how old he is. So I'm thinking about this part, man. I know you guys want to see entertaining fights, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking about the athletes when they get old. When they get to their 40s. I mean, Gordon Ryan, he's not even 30 years old. He's falling apart. He can't eat no food. Health terrible. Is that what you want, Jason Whitfield? I ain't going to do it for you guys. Hell no. I ain't going to die for you dudes. And I know you guys want to see the entertainment. Yeah, cool. I'm going to entertain you guys naturally. I ain't going to have no heart and lungs and kidney and liver 2 or 3 times bigger than what they're supposed to be. I'm good, bro. If any athletes out there, man, don't kill yourself to entertain these people out here, man. Don't kill yourself. The issue is a lot of these guys, they want attention. They want to be famous. They want to make money, and they'll kill themselves to get that. They'll kill themselves. They'll end their bloodline. They'll literally end their bloodline to do that. And life is long, man. You got a lot of life to live outside of your jiu-jitsu career. Says Cyborg suffers from a condition called arrhythmia, which is when the heart beats faster than usual. Arrhythmias can happen due to a variety of factors such as heart attack, hypertension, coronary heart disease. He might have all of that. Abnormal thyroid hormone production and other heart diseases. Shoot. Did he have a stent put in? Arrhythmias can be a result of smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, illegal drugs, caffeine, or over-the-counter or prescription medications. And some people experience arrhythmias because of stressful situations. He has tachycardia. Surgery if a failing heart valve is causing the arrhythmia involves repairing the valves through a surgical procedure. If the doctor determines that the cause of arrhythmia is a coronary heart disease, a coronary artery bypass surgical procedure will be performed. Cyborg has already talked about this problem after his loss to Andre Galvao at the 2015 Super Fight. How old was he in 2015? Cyborg's what, 40? Is he 40? How old is Cyborg again? I don't know. What, 10 years ago? In his 30s? I believe he had a heart issue in his 30s. I want to think, and I don't want to read that part. How old was he in 20? How old is he? I keep forgetting, guys. He's 44. So 34. You telling me he had a heart issue at 34? I mean, I know it's not impossible, guys, but listen, man. Listen, this ain't good. Orlando Sanchez, you know he had a heart attack. He died at 40. Well, I think he had a heart attack. He survived that, I believe. Did he have a heart attack? Oh, yeah, he definitely had a heart attack. When did he die? 2022 he died? And he had a heart attack 2017? Man, do you guys want these people to die? That's what I'm thinking. Whenever people online are like, man, I want to see the juiciest athletes, the most performance enhancing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, you just want to see people die. Blackout says UFC has major household brands as sponsors. They can't afford to have the negative image of PED users associated with their brands. That's true. That's true. You can't have all these athletes dying in their 30s and 40s. Heart attack in their 30s and 40s. And, whatever other issues they got going on. These guys be 25 years old on exogenous testosterone. Yeah, if you're trying to defend steroid use on here, man, this ain't the right live stream. Yeah. Orlando Sanchez came face to face with death with what he calls the worst week of his life. R.I.P. Orlando Sanchez. Maybe not the best person in the world, allegedly. The owner of 2 Gracie Baja gyms, Sanchez had planned a family getaway to their cabin up at Lake Arrowhead, California. He had some money. He had a cabin up in Lake Arrowhead. The break was just what the Gracie Baja black belt needed. After the nonstop stress of last year and a half, his beloved grandmother passed away. Oh, sorry to hear that. He was in the process of expanding his businesses to open another 2 Gracie Baja locations in Los Angeles. On top of that, he had to deal with an anonymous group of people trying to defame him on social media and on forums. Unfounded. No, that ain't true. About his unfounded rumors that attacked his character, hurt his business, and damaged his relationships. I think there might have been some truth to that. The stress had been building and building, but Sanchez is not one to lay down easily. He overcame a hardcore history of drug abuse in his 20s. Not a good sign either. And he suspected his heavy use of powder had begun to catch up with him. He would always feel short of breath, would constantly cough, and would wake him up in his sleep choking. He mostly put it down to anxiety, understandable given his recent trials. He still trained every night, but found himself overheating so much he had to put a fan on the mats to cool him down. And just like always, he kept pushing. Sanchez jumped on his Harley to make the 2-hour drive from his home of Pasadena to the cabin where he would meet his family. As soon as he got there, he realized something wasn't right. Everything he had been feeling got 10 times worse. Maybe it was the 5,000-foot elevation, but something wasn't right. He had difficulty breathing. After calling one of his students who was an ER doctor, Sanchez was advised to get checked out in case he had fluid in his lungs. At the emergency room, the doctor performed an EKG and x-rayed his chest. His heart was swollen, Surprise, surprise, and his chest was filling with fluid. An ambulance rushed him to the cardiac ICU where Sanchez was put on diuretics. It was here they discovered he was in what is called AFib, atrial fibrillation, a quivering or irregular heartbeat, more often called arrhythmia. Who else had arrhythmia? Cyborg. Lying in bed with 196 beats per minute heart rate. I mean, I don't think my heart rate ever got that high. I didn't know my heart rate could get that high. Yeah. All right, something bad happening. That ain't anxiety. It was here Sanchez felt at his lowest. The worst thing I've ever had to go through was looking at my kids and watching them cry hysterically, asking my wife if daddy was going to pass away. It absolutely broke me. To reset his heartbeat, doctors knocked him out and attached electroshock pads to his chest, firing pulses in an effort to reboot his system. After a few days of being monitored, he was allowed to go home. I can't believe I didn't die. He estimates he had been suffering from atrial fibrillation for around 8 months, a period in which he never stopped training, dating back to the time his grandmother died. I remember being there in the room. Okay, I don't say that part. So he was, he definitely was carrying a lot of weight. Let's see. After a near-death experience and realizing that the thing that nearly killed me was my unbreakable mindset, the same mindset that pushed me to the top of this sport, I'm telling you, I have self-belief more powerful than anybody's training camps or techniques or ripped abs. So that was him. Unfortunately, can I go back? Oh, well, let me go. Okay, I can go back. If we look at Orlando Sanchez, he didn't really take care of his health. Images. Like we see him. What was the last year? I think he did 2019. Yeah, I think it was 2019. He looked really, really bad. Like he looked way overweight. Like he looked just terrible. I mean, he was a thick guy, but like when he fought Nicky Rod, he looked terrible. I mean, I was there just watching him. He looked terrible. It's hard to see, but like his stomach was hanging down. He just looked really bad. Jason says Vince McMahon, owner of WWE back in the 80s, encouraged his wrestlers to take enhancers because the spectators want to see superheroes in the ring. That's true, but listen, Jason, that was back in the 80s. People didn't know what steroids were. Even the 90s, people didn't know what that stuff was. We weren't as health conscious. Listen, Vince McMahon ain't no better than Dana White. You can't tell me, Jason. I'm sorry, bro. You can't tell me. You can't tell me on none of that, man. Says, look where Vince and many of those wrestlers are today. One of the common threads in some of the most horrifying stories behind the WWE is PEDs. Yeah, between PEDs and CTE, it's all bad. Of course, you can say Vince McMahon and Dana White have made billions of dollars. That is true. That is true. They've made a lot of money. Killed a lot of athletes, too. Killed a lot of people. Got a lot of destitute wrestlers and MMA fighters out there. Got a couple more stories. Got who's this guy? Jason Statham. One of your guys' favorite athletes, actors. And he's training at Hodger Gracie BJJ. Let's do it, bro. That's pretty cool, man. Cool to see him training. So when I was a blue belt, I stumbled into Henry Cavill in the changing rooms during the time when Batman vs Superman was being released. I was wearing my Batman rash guard that day, and he took a photo together. It was a funny moment. Jason Statham, BJJ. That's pretty cool, man. The British people seem to train. What's the guy? Tom Hardy and Jason Statham and some other guys. What's the director guy? I can't remember. The one that was dating Madonna a long time ago. Yeah, the people in UK be training, bro. It's only in America they be kind of, I can't train. I'm scared. I'm too famous and rich to train. Yeah, I'm against steroids, guys. I keep saying it. I'm gonna keep promoting it. I don't want to see people dying in their 30s and 40s, heart attack left and right. I don't want to see kids on this stuff. Jiu-jitsu is good enough without all the steroids. Now, will some of those guys be, they're fun to watch? Yeah, they're fun to watch. But when they're having a heart attack in their 40s, I'm like, well, I don't know if it was worth it. So we've been talking a lot about Craig Jones and Mikey and Claudia. So someone says, can someone update me on the beef? I've seen Craig destroying them on social media, and I want to know the details. UFC has been taking ideas from Craig, like match formats and their new bowl/pit. Claudia has also been putting them down like they are revolutionary. Putting them out there like they are revolutionary. Mikey is one of the coaches for the UFC's new grappling competition show, so is catching strays. Mikey catching strays because he's an easy target. He's a nerd. He's emotional. He's just an easy target. Mikey need when Zuckerberg rebranded, he need that PR team. Can we get that PR team on Mikey stat? Give him a new haircut. Give him some contacts, some better hobbies. we can fix Mikey, man. The UFC contracts themselves are a double-edged sword. Sure, you get paid more, but you're stuck with them. Yeah, because Craig was the first person to ever think of those things. He did give props and credit to Karate Combat for the pit pretty vocally. Then he needs to quit crying about the UFC doing their own thing. They copied him. Claudia is a genuine airhead. She's the girl in charge of UFC BJJ. I don't know why. They should have put me in charge. I would have been marketing. At least I would take the microphone for Mikey. Yo, Mikey, give me the microphone, Mikey. Give me the microphone, Mikey. When Mikey start ranting and going crazy, I would take the microphone from him. Claudia is a genuine airhead. 2 out of 3 of her social media content is nonsense rant like Jones showed or advertisement for her get rich quick Discord group. When UFC BJJ is just as mediocre as Fight Pass Invitational, isn't it? She's in charge of both of those. They can't have a different person in charge of both of those things. And takes 10 years to get over growing pains. She's not going to give a care. The athletes that are signing into the UFC exclusive contracts now are going to have their careers already over. I mean, the UFC not a good company. Why would you want to partner with them? The only reason to partner with UFC is if you're going to use all their clout. And the only person I see doing that is Tackett. Andrew Tackett, he's using all the UFC clout. He's going to meet all the fighters, get his name out there. He's smart. He's the only smart one out there. If you think the UFC going to pay you, good luck. Now, you can use the UFC to like build your brand, go for it. But I think Tackett's the only person I've seen doing it right. He's absolutely correct. Signing up for a long-time exclusive contract with the UFC is foolish. You're not even an employee. You're an independent contractor. Only the next fight purse is guaranteed in combat sports. They can cut you at any time or even worse, hold you on ice forever. Well, you use the UFC for all you can get. You go to UFC headquarters, you get the meal plan, you use their facilities, you train there. Use everything you can, man. Her financial advice is so painfully simple and stupid that it rubs me the wrong way. Most of it boils down to save $500 per month instead of getting Starbucks and put it in a retirement account, and you'll be rich. Maybe in Brazil. Craig posted some story the other day about how she just suddenly started acting like she is the spokesperson for all of BJJ now, that she is somewhat in charge of UFC BJJ. She is basically taking credit for how they are using a pit-like structure and the same scoring to CJI, like she's the first person to come up with those ideas. That Moneyberg guy, that Moneyberg guy that Claudia works with and Mikey has worked with before, along with other UFC fighters he pays, seems like one of the most obvious grifters and scammers too. Who's the Moneyberg? Zuckerberg? I don't think Zuckerberg needs more money. But I could be wrong. Yeah, man, the Moneyberg. Who's Moneyberg? That's a person, Moneyberg? Yo, don't mess with Moneyberg. Moneyberg, that's kind of cool. Oh, bro. Who else does research like me online? Who else doing research like me online, bro? Nobody. Nobody doing research like me. Only live stream where we do research. We find who Moneyberg is. Hopefully I don't learn too many secrets. Jason says, Gordon Ryan is probably the worst representative of jiu-jitsu. He said he would not change a thing about his PED use, even if it took 20 years off his life. How many kids heard that and took it to the heart? A ton of them. We're seeing them now. They're all the kids at ADCC opens. All the kids that want to do all these no-gi tournaments, they listening to Gordon. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to, I'm only one dude with a little live stream. I'm like, hey, kid, don't do that stuff. Don't kill yourself to be famous. They're not going to listen to me. They're going to listen to Craig Jones and Gordon Ryan. So, kind of sad, guys. Kind of sad. So we're gonna find out who this Moneyberg person is. Apparently, that's his real name. Yo, it's wild out here, man. It says, yeah, man, Moneyberg is crazy. I mean, the name is already crazy. Is he the dork that pays Gordon Ryan thousands of dollars for privates and pretends they are best friends? Here's a YouTube video exposing all of his obvious grifts. Oh, we might need to watch that. Not right now, though. It says it's crazy that all those UFC fighters and grapplers are promoting the fat Berg guy. Is there a different other Berg? I just checked her IG after Craig roasted her. Yikes! She's on that get rich scam now. What a grifter! Should have stuck to OnlyFans. So, not only is she on OnlyFans, she's also grifting. So, that's who's in charge of the UFC BJJ. So I don't think the future is going to be good for UFC BJJ. If the person in charge is grifting, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign, guys. So I don't think that's going to be good for us. Should not have signed that exclusive contract. UFC BJJ is the ADCC of 2025, so Craig is gunning for them. Just business. Oh, and the UFC pretty much ripping off CGI, so they're going to get into a legal fight. Craig is partners with the Karate Combat guys. Craig paid the karate guys to license their patent they had on the pit. UFC didn't, so there's some controversy about that. The UFC's is round, so they didn't have to license it. They created their own design. Read the patent. I did not read the patent. We ain't gonna read the patent today. Craig trademarked grappling in a hole. Mikey and Claudia are grappling in a different hole. Craigie wants his money for their hole, or something like that. Pretty accurate. Didn't grappling in a hole come from karate in a hole? Yeah, he paid them licensing for it or something. Craig is doing what he can to maintain a fair and competitive market. We should support that cause. While some athletes will make more money immediately, allowing the UFC to monopolize grappling is not necessarily a good thing. What's going to happen in the future when there is the UFC and almost no other way for athletes to compete for cash? The UFC is on record saying they are going to keep UFC athletes' costs below 20%. So I believe that's 20% of revenue, which if you look at NFL, real professional organizations, it's like 50-50 split, really. UFC, they're going to keep costs down by 20%. They can do this by, getting athletes from different countries, Dagestan, South America, Middle East, wherever. They can get athletes from Asia. They're going to keep the costs low. Kind of similar to one championship. They kept costs low. So 20% of revenue, I believe. That's insanely low compared to other sports leagues. And they've already been sued for anti-competitive practices. Since writing this, they've been brought to court for 2 brand new antitrust lawsuits. So, not really the best organization to join to become a part of. Do they have a glass door? I want to see if they have a UFC glass door. He's trying to maintain a fair and competitive partnership with the company that he and the community at large have accused of trying to monopolize the sport. If you're talking about Flow, yes, he is using their content engine to promote his event. No, he is not putting his event behind their paywall, and most importantly, he is not forcing exclusive contracts on the athletes competing for CJI. I hope Craig Jones is taking care of himself, because this all seems very stressful.
In June 2020,
Moneyberg. Hopefully I don't. We're gonna listen to the audio. Hopefully I don't get hit with a copyright or anything.
Derek Moneyberg decided to sue me because I hurt his feelings by making a video about him. He has over 4 million followers on Instagram, interviews famous UFC fighters, and has something he doesn't want to be made public. By suing me, he led me down a path where I uncovered what I believe to be a dirty little secret he doesn't want anyone to know about. I'm going to need your participation today. I'm going to present all the evidence I was able to find, and I'm going to ask you to be the judge. Because I am currently in litigation with Derek Moneyberg, I'm simply presenting what I have found, and you should not interpret these findings as proof of criminal behavior. Derek Moneyberg, aka Dale Buskowski, sued me on June 21, 2021. I was sued in the District of Nevada. Makes sense because I
don't want to rip that guy's video off. Hopefully I didn't get hit with the copyright because of music or anything. So Moneyberg, we're going to look at the AI real fast and maybe Reddit. And then I got to get some food. It says Derek Moneyberg is an entrepreneur and wealth coach who has a connection to the UFC. Red flag. Where's the red flag emoji at? Give me 1 second, guys. Let me find that red flag real fast. There we go. Connection with the UFC. He has worked with several UFC champions and fighters, including Alex Pereira, Glover Teixeira, Chuck Liddell, and Royce Gracie. He is known for his work in entrepreneurship, the stock market, and real estate investing. Guys, don't put your money with that dude, Moneyberg. He's gonna take your money. Allegedly, Moneyberg also has a YouTube channel where he discusses wealth building strategies and interviews UFC fighters like Jake Shields. He's not a fighter himself, but is known for his coaching and mentorship. Screw that. Get out of here. So we got a little Reddit on this dude. Who is this dude, and why do so many fighters go on his show? And he's got Gilbert Burns and Charles Oliveira. So a lot of these Brazilians guys be getting scammed. A lot of these Brazilians be getting scammed by these American dudes. A guy named Derek Moneyberg who wears a t-shirt with his own face as a coin on it sounds like I can't say that word. That's his face on that coin. Man, I ain't wearing no dude's face on my shirt. he has to pay them for interviews, right? He gives off the vibe, and it seems like none of them want to be there. Says, mate, I watch one of these interviews. 70% of them is him talking about himself and his drug dealing father, and if the guest fighter is supposed to somehow care, as if the guest fighter is somehow supposed to care. I swear this guy is permanently on my YouTube ads. Who knows how a clear as day grifter gained access to so many fighters? Well, Daddy Dana gave him access to all these fighters. Daddy Dana said he don't want the fighters to pull their money together, so he put this grifter against them. I don't know why, but the way he sits like a bossy person, leaning back while Charles and Burns sit in a normal, humble pose, it pisses me off. Douchebag vibes. Yeah, for sure. Moneyberg sounds like, can't say that. It's Joe Rogan. He's one of the most famous podcasters. Theo Vaughn. He is trying to target MMA fans probably because he thinks we're all gullible Joe Rogan bros. Yeah, basically. UFC fighters are easy to scam. Think about, we saw the BJ Penn video. Who was there? Who was there with them? Pete the Greek over there ready to scam BJ Penn. These fighters take so much damage. I believe something happened to Nick Diaz too, or was it Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz? Yeah, these guys are super easy targets. They got CTE, brain damage, delusional, capgrass. They got all this stuff. They easy to get scammed. They easy targets. Says abduction rumors about Nick Diaz draws concerned reactions from MMA veterans after coach update. It says Nick Diaz's longtime coach Cesar Gracie recently shot down rumors of his alleged abduction. My man's over here got delusions. Gracie even indicated that the UFC great was no longer in a relationship with his partner and girlfriend who claimed that Diaz had been abducted. A couple MMA veterans have now touched upon the situation, expressing their concerns for the legendary Diaz. Over the past several days, a few Instagram stories posts by Nick Diaz's partner Kay have been a much discussed topic among fans. Nick and his younger brother Nate, both of whom are held as MMA legends, recently unfollowed one another on Instagram. That's not good. It's believed to be a foreboding development. Ugh, I can't talk anymore. I got CTE too. Oh no, I think I'm just tired. As it comes at a time when Kay has suggested that Nick was abducted and taken to a rehabilitation facility in Mexico, where he's allegedly being held against his will. She implied that Nate and the UFC were paying for Nick's treatment at the facility, and that his cousin Ruben was overseeing Nick's treatment. It says, meanwhile, in a Facebook post via BJJ trainer Dylan Dearborn and Infinity Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Dearborn asserted that Nick is alive and well and that he's been training and guiding Nick in Mexico. Dearborn asserted that Nick's family, the UFC, and the place he's staying in are all supporting him in his journey. Maybe he did get abducted. I don't know what happened. Furthermore, Cesar Gracie, a member of the famed Gracie BJJ family and well-known coach of Nick, took to Instagram and provided a notable update. Gracie wrote, Nick is healthy and well, not cloned or kidnapped. He has not joined MS-13, does not have a girlfriend, but is probably looking. I'm not sure what's going on. Is that him? So they say he's well. I don't know what's going on. They say he's healthy and strong. So maybe the girlfriend maybe the girlfriend was on something. I don't know. But either way, these guys, it's easy for them to get scammed. Sometimes they're not in the best health. All of those, entertaining you guys, taking all those shots. You guys want them to take all the brain damage, and then later on in life, they can't even operate. So it's pretty sad. And not in that case, I guess. I guess he's okay. We talked about this. The UFC BJJ is going to be testing. I don't want to talk about that anymore. We talked too much about that. We are going to watch this little news clip. So this is about the Sinistro position. Let's see. Let's see. I don't want to get hit by anything. Let's do this one. This one right here. Play that music.
Ooh, Lucas just competed, didn't he?
Oh, shoot. Dang it. Come on, guys.
Paralyzed from the neck.
Can't play the music, guys.
$1 million after paralyzed from the neck.
I'm just going to play the video, man. I'm not going to. Can't play the music, man. I'm trying to stay monetized, guys.
Neck down by a black belt instructor known as.
So again, this is kind of a biased. I don't know if we can see the video. So Sinistro is going for a back roll, and then the guy moved his head kind of weird, taking damage to his cervical vertebrae. Yeah, that was a freak accident. And I think because of the internet and there's more people training, we're gonna see maybe more serious injuries like this coming out. There was one at Fight Sports we talked about yesterday, Ben Kuzel. There was one on Reddit where the guy got spiked on his head. Gianni got spiked on his head too. They're not showing the video. I want to see the video. It's hard to find this stuff.
Trainer was enrolled at Del Mar Jiu-Jitsu.
One of the biggest, I would say.
Entire $1 million. During have him fully mapped who he's suing, where he's getting the money, like where they're getting that dollar amount from. This is what I believe happened during that sparring session. Jamie, bend over. You would put your hook in, and then you would get your other leg in over here. I have him fully mounted like a horse.
He went down on his head, and his head was completely like that. So like you said,
not what happened.
The instructor jumped up, had all his weight, and as he did that, he kind of turned like this.
That's not what happened.
And so that's where it was like,
he didn't have hooks in.
Yes, so this is what I think happened. All right, put your neck in that weird position.
Yeah, I don't think he had hooks in. He was going for the Leo Vieta back take. So there. And you see the guy, he moved his head the wrong way. I mean, not to laugh. That's terrible. Moved his head the wrong way and then collapsed on the side.
Like that the instructor did it on purpose, or that. You know what I mean? Like people just trying to make BJJ sound like a bad thing. But it was just like, no, like it was just almost like a freak accident.
Hi everyone. I wanted to make this quick video talking about an accident that happened 3 years ago while I was sparring a training partner, and I was attempting a back take from third position, his neck got injured. Still to this day, I cannot explain how his neck got injured on this move. I was doing what I still do every single day on the mats. It's just that day it turned a terrible outcome and a very sad story. I wanted to put out there that this wasn't my intention. It wasn't a reckless move from my behalf. I was just doing what I still do every single day, and this was a freak accident. This is a reminder for everyone who trains this sport that injuries and accidents can happen on a daily basis. Just in the last year, I've known of 3 or 4 other people who suffer neck injuries. So we all have to be grateful every time we can step on the mats and step out of the mats being healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it was a freak accident, man. That's why I tell you guys to be careful, man. Use technique. Take care of yourselves. Sometimes accidents happen. Let's see.
What happened recently is this case came out where there was a $46 million judgment against a local jiu-jitsu gym here in San Diego for the plaintiff for an injury that he received doing jiu-jitsu to his neck. Now, there's a lot of controversy going on with this because it's going to affect jiu-jitsu gyms across the country. We need to talk about it, and I think the truth needs to come out. And, you know, I don't know much about jiu-jitsu, but the man I'm here with today certainly does, Royler Gracie.
First of all, it's my pleasure to be with you guys, you know, as always. And, yeah, we see a lot of things people talk a lot about, you know. That's for sure. It's really bad for both sides, you know. And I see the video many times, back and forth many times. And then I'm not a judge, you know, but I'm expert in jiu-jitsu. I'm training jiu-jitsu for more than 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And then crazy. I can see when someone has bad intention. And my opinion for the video, what I see is an accident, completely accident. And don't tell me it's a negligence for the teacher, for the school. Come on. I don't see it that way. I'm sorry. You know, like I say, I trained jiu-jitsu for more than 50 years. And then we see a lot of different movements, yes, everywhere, you know. But we need to treat this as an accident. If you treat this as an accident, it's going to be completely different. You know, to be honest, one more time, I feel sorry for the student, what happened with him. And then I believe, you know, he need to have something for the rest of his life if he have a really bad injury like we have.
Okay, so that exact move is what was referred to as the flip over back take. And the dangerousness of that move is that he's using his body weight and he's rolling over the person's you know, shoulder and neck. Are you saying that that's not a dangerous move, or is it just one of many dangerous moves?
Well, you know, is a martial art is a danger. A hip throw is a danger.
I see. So, in your opinion, the use of that move by the black belt instructor in the roll on a white belt or a white belt with some experience that he most likely felt, you don't think that fell below the standard of care of jiu-jitsu?
You know, all the movements in jiu-jitsu, I do to the black belts and to the white belts. I do it to everybody. The only difference, we go smooth and slow and give you time for him to digest the position. Or even if you don't learn it, okay, we're just going to avoid the movement. But if he's already trained, I can do the choking him, I can try to sweep him, I can do the stuff I do all the time with the black belts, and I do with the white belt. The only reason I decrease the speed and go very smooth, give him a chance to see the movement.
I see. So it's okay to try these dangerous moves, but just go slower so that they can react or learn by feeling it.
What is a danger movement? Now we're going to open a book. When you say, this is a danger movement, this one is not, which one is a danger? I like to know what the expert is going to tell me. In 50 years I train in jiu-jitsu. Okay, this one is going to be danger. This one is not a danger anymore.
I see. So it's not just the move itself in a vacuum, it's how it's applied.
How to apply, exactly. That's make a big difference. You know, I can do this sweep with someone, don't know, very smooth, or I can do this sweep and right there and hit his head on the floor.
I see. So you can't just define the move because it's dynamic. You're moving, the guy's moving.
Exactly. It's 100%.
So in the declaration of Henry Gracie, and this is public information, you can find it at the San Diego court website. He says, performing a forward flip back take on a white belt without prior instruction would be an extreme departure from the range of ordinary activity involved in teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Do you think that's true?
You know, it's kind of hard to start to separate what is. You can use this and this one no. This one yes, this one no. To be honest, it's hard because as soon as I grow up in jiu-jitsu, I do all the movements to all the guys I training. Right. They never told me this.
Right, so all the details of the actual move don't matter as much as the big picture.
Exactly.
Because they're saying it was a chop and tilt wrestling move. Well, this guy, to my understanding, was a wrestler.
Yes. One more time. It doesn't matter the whole picture. It doesn't matter if you trap the arm, if you lock the leg, if you hold the head, if you sweep, if you do this, if you do that. It's an accident.
Okay, so what is the standard of care for jiu-jitsu? Because if this move was determined to be below the standard, I would like to know, what is the standard? As Elio's son, what is the standard of care for jiu-jitsu?
Well, first of all, enjoy yourself. Don't hurt yourself and don't hurt your partner. But everything can happen. When you walk to the doors of martial arts school, we need to assume the risk. You know, I'm not against nobody. And then I'm not trying to throw a rock in nobody. But who? And the other side is going to say this is not accident.
That's fair. And the problem is now there's this precedent set. There's this, now there's case law. Assuming it doesn't get appealed, now this is the case that everybody's going to cite for all the future injuries. What do we do to move forward? How do we move forward? Who do we go to? What do the gyms do now?
Well, to be honest, the damage is already there.
All right, guys, this is it, man. Shout out to Carol. I got my first super chat. Man. Thank you, Carol. We covered a lot. If you watched the thumbnail, we talked about Ben Askren. Still no updates from his wife. We talked about Amit. She's not doing Final X. And shout out to Hoyler. He gave a really good take. I don't know what Hinner and Hinner was actually on the other side of the debate. Yeah. What's crazy is Hinner Gracie testified for the plaintiff. Got paid $100,000. After he got called out, he said he was donating all the fees to charity. And did he donate the fees to charity, or did he just say that? So there's a big split in the Gracie family. You got the Gracie Academy with Hinner and his family, and you got like guys like Hoyler, Gracie Humaita, a little bit more down to earth. And then you got Gracie Baja with Carlos. So, the Gracie family is not a monolith, guys. They all got the same name, but they ain't all together. You got Caesar Gracie, he doing his own thing. You got Hickson Gracie doing his own thing. Yeah, Hinner, Hinner. You guys know exactly what to expect from Hinner. So, as always, guys, if you want to support the channel, go check out Inverted Gear. Go grab some gear. They got some new gis coming in for this year, so check them out. Offer code ALEC, as well as BJJ Mental Models. Got the video, man. Got the video ready. Not the full video. I filmed my techniques yesterday. I kind of missed one move, but you guys see, we got little video there with me and Evan. So I'm gonna work on that in a little bit, and hopefully in the next week or two that should be out. And tournament this weekend, we should be live streaming tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. Keep you guys updated. And that's it, man. You guys stay out of trouble, stay healthy, take care of yourselves and your training partners. That's all I ask, man. Stay out of trouble. And hope you guys have a great Wednesday. And I'll see you guys later, man. There's no shortage of drama, man. There's no shortage of drama in this sport. And I miss some drama, too. Again, shout out to Carol and Jer Bear. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys. And I'll see you guys soon.